Right. Good morning. Happy Saturday, everybody. If anyone notices, I am at the airport on my way to Cancun for the Bigger Pockets podcast conference. So it's a little more hodgepodge than usual, so I apologize. My partner Dev's there on site. Austin's here. I'll just ask if everyone can go on mute. If you can throw in the chat where you're zooming in from. I'm here at O'Hare Airport. Dev's down on the south side, Greater Grand Crossing. So if you guys don't know me, my name is Jonathan. I'm the founder here at Quality Builders and the host of the Chicago Quality Investors Meetup. We put together these calls once a month to go through our projects, give you guys kind of a lay of the land on stuff we're doing, try to promote growth, just generally speaking, to help each other along the way. I know, when I started out investing, it was super hard. So I'm always trying to look to help people along that same journey and utilize some of the awesome tools that I've found to really help elevate the investing game. Particularly right now, I really think like the home style renovation loan and the 2 or 3K loan are things that we're leaning into at Quality Builders. The one other thing I always am trying to promote is making sure that we're giving back. I'm actually on the True Value Boys and Girls Club board, right? Minneapolis. Oh yeah, he's way up north there, everybody. Yeah, I'm on the True Value Boys and Girls Club. So I always ask if anyone can that you may be willing to donate to our cause. It actually goes to their Youth of the Year program. And so basically once a year, the True Value Boys and Girls Club of Little Village get together. They have three participants that actually have to go up, give a speech. The winner of that actually gets to go to Navy Pier, and then the Boys and Girls Club across Chicago all compete for becoming the Youth of the Year. Youth of the Year gets a scholarship. I don't know if it's a full ride, but it's a large sum of money. And so, yeah, if you're willing and able to give, greatly appreciate it. I'll leave it up there for a little bit longer. My partner Dev is here on site at one of our projects. This project is a 2-unit building, a brick building. It actually got started previously by another contractor, and so we're actually taking over some of their work, which always makes things a little bit more challenging. Doing that transition from the old contractor to us was also unique because our client's using a 2 or 3K loan, and the loan need to get restructured based on some of the work that the previous client did. So that's been one of the biggest challenges to getting started on this particular project. What I'll do is I'll share the plans, kind of give you guys a lay of the land of the project itself, the floor plan, and then I'll highlight Dev a little bit more so he can kind of walk you in the project to kind of show you where we're at. So far, we've commenced on demo and we've started on all of the electrical and plumbing roughs. So we've got the copper conduit in. Let me pull up my screen again. If you can, throw it in the chat and let me know that you can see my screen again. You should be able to see a floor plan here. If you can't see my screen, let me know, please. And I apologize if it's hard to hear me. So yeah, like I mentioned, awesome. Thank you, Ra. As I mentioned, it's a 2-unit building with a basement. So the basement's actually beautiful and really set up for a 3rd unit as well. And so the first floor, basically we're set up to keep all the remaining walls. We're doing new electrical, new plumbing, new HVAC, new kitchen, new bath. So pretty much kind of a full cosmetic renovation. We're keeping the flooring and we're going to be painting the entire unit. So when Dev actually walks in, he will be walking into the front door. I'm gonna highlight here. Yeah, so he'll be walking up here. I think we should go downstairs first, Dev, so they can see the basement. So he's gonna go down in the basement. And let me see if I can find a floor plan for you guys really quick for the basement. So yeah, the basement is right here, wide open. There's actually the original plans were to actually renovate the basement and make it into a unit. But because the previous contractor actually did a significant amount of work upstairs, we had to audible to put the first and second floors back together. And then this is going to be a future project. So you can see, we have a lot of space, about 640 square feet that we can use to build out in the future. This area over here is going to be utility room. So I'll let Dev share his screen. I'll highlight him so you guys can see where he's at on the project. And yeah, Dev, if you want to hop off mute, introduce yourself, that will be wonderful.
Hey guys, Dev here. John's colleague, project manager for Quality Builders, and super excited that you guys joined us here today. Like John mentioned, like I think we're right at the starting phase of this project, so there's a lot of open walls and a lot of cool things to see that you don't usually get to see. So we're happy that you're joining us here, and then handing it back over to Jonathan. I'll just start moving to the basement so that you guys can see.
Dev, maybe you can touch on some of the early changes that we've had, especially with the HVAC to kind of reconfigure that and what the original plans look like as well.
Sounds good. So the original plan for HVAC, since like John mentioned, we're trying to do new HVAC, new mechanical system throughout the property. The original plan was for the first floor, since this is the basement's going to be unfinished, so we weren't going to really do any ductwork for the basement. But for the first floor, we were going to run the ductwork through these joists in here. So essentially, all the ductwork was going to be in this basement ceiling in the registers we're going to come up to the first floor. But like John mentioned, this is like a really amazing open space that has potential to be a future unit down the road. So just to preserve the possibility to do mechanical down here, the owner elected to do the ductwork on the first floor for the first floor under the ceiling of the first floor. So we're not doing any demo here in the ceiling anymore. We're not going to be installing ductwork in the basement ceiling for the first floor. Now the ductwork is going to go in under the first floor ceiling. So we're just going to soften it out, run it through the perimeters on the first floor. And once we get there, I'll kind of revisit and I'll show you guys where we plan on running our soffits on the first floor. So no more ductwork in the basement, just so that we can potentially in the future put the ductwork in the basement for the basement unit.
Yeah, and really quick, I can show the previous ductwork plan so you guys can see where it was going to go. So here's the original plan for the ductwork. So exactly where Dev is at right now is basically right here. Yeah, right there where that green circle is. The ductwork was going to go into the ceiling. It was actually going to be a downdraft furnace, meaning the furnace is pushing air down into the basement. The ductwork was going to be coming from this area here. And then the registers were going to be going up into the first floor. Everywhere where I have a green line. So that would have caused us to have to build down the ceilings, probably about assume 16 inches or so. And with the current height, it would have really inhibited the potential for another system down in that area. So we elected to put the actual ductwork into the first floor. I'll show you what that looks like as well once we go back up there. But yeah, Deb, you can take a peek in the mechanical room. I think we built some walls in there as well, and I'll spotlight you again here. So in here, right, Deb, we have the utility room, hot water heaters. We have an existing sump that's going to go back there, washer dryer connections. Any particular points you want to touch on about the work that's been done there?
Not really. I mean, like you mentioned, it's all yeah. We framed out these new walls recently, and just made sure the connections are proper so that we can relocate and install the hot water heater and the laundry, and obviously there's some pump out there as well. Just getting it ready for the utility rooms.
So we should be calling for the inspections for the plumbing and electrical pretty soon as well, correct? Deb?
Yeah, it should be put in like this coming week.
Okay, well, Deb's walking back upstairs. I'll share my screen again so you can see the plans for the first floor ductwork moving forward. So now you'll see the furnace is still going to be in the same spot, which is right here, back corner of the room. But now instead of having a downdraft furnace pushing the air down, where the ductwork is going to be in the ceiling. And just like fun fact, right? Ideally, we want the registers in the floor instead of the ceiling. Why? Does anyone know? Possibly. Any thoughts why ductwork in the floor instead of ceiling? Well, if we know heat, one thing about heat, we know that it goes up, right? So we want our air flowing up, not down, or our hot air is going to flow up. So we're going to be able to keep a better temperature if we have our heat coming from the bottom, because otherwise the heat's going to stay at the top of the building. So, and you also notice in any building, we're always going to have our supply registers like this one, they're all going to be close to windows. Why is that? Anyone know why supply is always going to be close to the windows? Same type of concept. Basically, we want to offset the temperature differential at the window because the R value of the window is going to be lower than the R value in the wall. So we want to have warm air coming out by the window. So we're actually offsetting that temperature. And you'll notice I can change my color here. All the return vents for any of your HVAC system are typically be in the middle of the property. Why is that? It's because we want to create circulation. So we want the air to come out of these ones, come into these ones. So we always want to create circulation. So the most ideal thing is actually we have our supply in the floor, our return in the ceiling, and that's creating a cycle. Like that's rare. It's, that's what a new construction house would have, but just some insights on how things got done. So you can see we rerouted our supply here to come from the furnace, go along this wall. Oh, there we go. Come all the way over here. And that's also going to jet over here into the kitchen and jet all the way over here into the dining room. And then our return is going to be here in the middle and come right back to the furnace. And that creates, oh, I didn't draw my line. Apologize. There we go. Our returns going to come right back into here. So go back to Deb. He can kind of point out where we're going to have these returns and supplies since he's on site. So I'll let you show everyone where we're at, Devin. If you can kind of talk through where you're at. He's walking in the front of the house. Walk through. We're going to have the supplies and returns. That'll be super helpful.
Good. But you guys saw there, just walked a few steps up, right into the first unit. I'm just gonna go straight back to the back end of the unit just to show you guys where we'll be putting in the furnace. Right over here, right next to the mudroom porch area, where this is where the furnace is gonna go. And so, kind of like John mentioned, our return would just be going out this way, outside the furnace room, and running down the hallway. Just one note to John's comments about returns being in the middle. We also did elect to put them right outside the door as well. Again, just to aid the circulation aspect that John was mentioning about. So our return registers are going to be one outside this door, one outside this door, one in the living room over here. And in terms of supply, just to minimize the eyesore for the project owner, and obviously the tenants that are going to be living here, we just wanted to minimize that eyesore. So essentially, this wall, the other side of this wall is where the furnace is going to go. We're just going to run the supplies running through the perimeter, essentially just make the soffit as pleasing as we can make it look. John, did you want to share the plans again just to show the layout?
Yes, let me share the plans again. Does that make sense to everyone? Does everyone understand what does that? Am I confusing anyone with our HVAC jargon? So yeah, you can see this is the floor plan here for the first floor. First floor and second floor are actually identical. I'll jump back here so you can see the actual layout here. So this is a 3-bed, 1-bath. Again, really massive floor plan. I believe it's roughly 1,500 square feet. So where Deb is at, he's actually standing right in the dining room right now. Right around here. Looking right where my mouse is, and he's looking this way. So he turned around. I'll highlight him again. You can see there's a nice front kind of sunroom foyer. I'd say one of the nicest things about this property too is we're not having to do windows. Windows are always a pretty big ticket item. So you can see the newer vinyl windows, those old stained glass windows actually in that living room are super beautiful. If you turn around, yeah, right, those ones. So we're definitely not getting rid of those. Definitely kind of leave some character in the building. Actually, sadly, the old contractor took off all the old trim too, and it's actually some of the beautiful old wood trim too. So we're kind of sad about that. So we're gonna have to put some of it back, but we're not gonna be able to restore it to its old vintage look either. So yeah, so for this particular project, Deb, the question was about from Matthew was about will all the plaster be removed and the walls drywall. Can you touch on our plan for doing all the electrical and stuff without touching much of the drywall?
Sure. Yep. So just to answer your question, Matthew, we're not going to be doing a full, almost like a gut demo or like removing all the walls. We're trying to uh, do selective demo, as you can see, just a couple of feet from the bottom, just to get our conduits in, just to catch up to code with the electrical and the mechanical and the plumbing. So as you can see, like we're not really planning on getting all these walls out. We're doing selective demo just to save on cost, as well as like we'll touch upon it. I think there's better areas where I can show you, but there's a lot of plastered kind of wall. So there's different depths of the wall around the property. There's different layers to how many layers there are behind this drywall. It's not just straight up 5/8 drywall. There's like a 1 inch plaster, stuff like that, chicken wire, and then the drywall. So it's different layers around the property, different depths. So I think it would be very laborious to do the entire gut demo of all the walls. So that's why we're choosing to do selective trenching.
All right, yeah, Deb, if you want to make your way upstairs, I'll show that last floor plan, and I'm gonna have to top off my plane is boarding. My girlfriend is telling me she doesn't want to miss the flight, so let me share my screen one last time. It's almost identical floor plan, but just to give you guys a little context and layout of where he's at. Uh, I was actually on the second floor plan already, so um, but you can see here. Oh, yeah, so you can see he came up the stairs. Um, Same exact layout as the first floor. Actually, go up to the first floor real quick so you can see. Mm, Almost exactly identical. There's actually nothing different about them. So, that makes it really nice for the plumbing walls too, right? So you'll see for the it's always a nice thing when you can have all of the plumbing in one wall. So you'll notice we actually built a new 2x6 wall here. Um, that way we have a housing for our venting, all of our copper. You can see um, you can see that we'll have our toilet, our faucet on this side, and our vanity on the same side. So we always want that stuff on the same side, so we're not have to run copper lines under. And then another interesting thing here is you'll see we have that sink actually right here. And so you'll see this hatching here and here, and you'll see the plans call out provide 2x4 wall. And that's because we can't have any exterior plumbing. We can't have any plumbing on the exterior walls. So we need to build out that wall so we can add an additional layer of insulation, so that those pipes aren't more susceptible to being frozen. So yeah, I'm gonna highlight Deb again. I'm gonna hop off. I'll make him the host. He can answer any other final kind of questions from you guys. If you need to get a hold of us, you can find us on probably any of the socials at Quality Builders Inc. or we're qualitybuilders.com. And you can set up a consultation. Happy to talk with you about your next project. I'm gonna let Deb take it away from here. I appreciate you all from joining in and look forward to teaming up on your next renovation together.
Have a safe flight, John. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys. I think we didn't really show you guys the kitchen and the bathroom on the first floor. So right now I'm in the second floor. So I'll just show you guys the kitchen and the bathroom real quick. Kind of like Jonathan mentioned, we initially had a really or a really not so deep wall over here, and that was causing us problems since we really couldn't uh fix but like put our conduits or even the plumbing pipes in there just because of the depth, and also like they were a little structurally fragile. So we elected to do 2x6, just reframe the walls in the bathroom and the kitchen. As you can see, it definitely gives us a lot more space for our drain and the vent and the supply lines of the plumbing for the bathroom and the kitchen to go in there. This is essentially going to be the kitchen at this property. The bathroom's right next to the kitchen, right in the middle between these two super large rooms here. Bathrooms, your regular sized bathroom over here. And kind of like John mentioned, I think to have like a deeper wall is helpful since the city of Chicago is really cracking down, especially the plumbing department, on putting any of your copper lines in the exterior walls. Like you'll 100% fail inspection before it was like a crapshoot, depending on the inspector. But they're definitely cracking on it, and we agree with them. So I think it's smart for us to make the walls a little bit deeper and then put some insulation right behind over there, like near the supply lines on the exterior side of the wall. We didn't touch base on having this rear porch as well, which is a nice addition. It's the same on both floors. So each unit has like a sunroom as well as a back porch, so definitely allows for spaces to just hang out and relax. I think that's pretty much most of the work that we're going to be doing on this project. I did see a question about showing the rehab when it's finished from Vernon. We definitely try to take you through the progress at each of our projects. So we'll definitely be doing at least maybe two more. Maybe we'll do one when we're closer to wrapping up and closing up the drywall after inspection's complete. And then we'll definitely do one when we're at the punch of the stage when it looks much nicer and close to finishing. So definitely we'll keep you posted on it. Just keep following us on our socials, keep it correct, and you'll definitely be the algorithm's definitely going to push this virtual project walkthrough again whenever we do it the next time. So it'd be interesting and fun for you guys to come back and see the progress in the month or so. Any other questions before I end this meeting for all of us? All right, if we don't have anything else, I'm just gonna head out here. I'm gonna lock the doors, make sure the site's secure. Thank you guys for joining us again on a Saturday. I know sometimes I don't want to really do much on a Saturday, so I really appreciate you guys motivating us to get out here. So appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a great weekend. And like Jonathan mentioned, if you guys have any further question about this project, about your own rehab, about anything else, anything construction related or real estate investing related, we're very happy to receive your emails and talk and schedule a consultation or a call. So definitely reach out to Jonathan at Quality Builders. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.